kids, and now I actually have my own model in the booth. So it's pretty surreal, I must say. It's just you keeping at it and just following it, and music is just such an incredible thing, and being able to have a guitar in the booth and be able to inspire more kids to play the guitar. And because I love Pori Smith so much, and I just think they're such quality guitars, my model's affordable for kids to buy. So it's around that, I think, $800 mark, which is great. So.
But when did you first put your hands on a Paul Reed Smith? Was it when you were a kid in Australia?
11, yeah, 11. I actually got a second-hand Custom 24 after seeing Santana perform. I begged my dad to get me one, and it was kind of like my Christmas and birthdays all in one for, I think, a few years. But I never put it down, I loved it so much, and I've still got it now. It's back in Adelaide, but the guitar, is just such a versatile guitar, such a quality guitar. And so by having my own model and getting kids, when they say, oh, what guitar do you recommend buying? I trust Paul, and his company is just, they make quality things that are not going to sound horrible, not going to feel horrible. So when a kid gets it, they're going to be like, this guitar's awesome, I don't want to put it down. So that was the whole goal.
You've mentioned kids a couple of times. What were your early influences growing up as a guitarist?
Santana, Stevie Ray, B.B. King, Freddie King, Gary Moore, Steve Vai. And I was actually 15, I opened for Steve. That was my first ever support, and he stayed in contact with me ever since then, and having his support means so much. So, and I remember getting an email from him, and that would make my week, and it just keep you going, and just, okay, I want to get better and better. And I actually got to write a song with him for my new record, and it's called Hardly Strung. And, I love it. We actually shot a music video for it too, and it's premiering on AOL in the next couple of days, and so much fun doing it. And he's just an incredible player. So Carlos Santana and Steve Vai are my two idols, and just really cool people too.
Right. Now, isn't there some story, weren't you on the same, you said you opened for him, but you shared the stage, didn't you?
When I was 18, Steve came back to Adelaide, he invited me to jam with him. And then when I moved over to the States, I think probably a couple of years ago, I actually opened for him on tour. And that was really cool. I think it was like 6 dates or something. Yeah, so it was really awesome. And I mean, he's just such a monster of a player. You watch him play and you think, can you get any better? Where do you go from there,
Right. Well, it can be kind of intimidating because you're a guitarist and you're watching him.
Actually, it makes me just want to get better, thinking, wow, he's just incredible. And if I can, get better and look back at how I've progressed and, just learn different things, because you don't want to stand still as an artist. You want to continue to evolve and create. So, yeah.
You mentioned it briefly, but can you take us through the whole progression of since we're here at the courtesy of Paul Reed Smith, you said you got a used Custom 24.
Yeah.
But then your actual meeting of Paul Reed Smith and the development of what is now your signature model.
Oh, totally. When I was 11, I got my first PRS, which was Custom 24, second-hand. It had super high action and heavy strings, and definitely made me work for the notes. I think a country player had it before me, so... but anyway, when I was 14, I made a demo with that guitar. It was called Under the Influence, and I sent it out to Paul. And Paul sent me an email to say that he loved it, and invited me over here. And then I got to jam with Carlos Santana when I was 18 in Australia. And he took the DVD of the show to Pori Smith, and Paul saw it, invited me again over to NAMM, over here. And so that time I came over and I played in the booth, and I would jam out with his musicians that he had in the band, and it was just so cool, just getting to do that every year for I think about 3 or 4 years, and playing the show at the Grove here in Anaheim, the Pori Smith party. And then 2005 I got to jam with Santana actually at the Pori Smith party. And in the audience was this guy called Gilad Kareen, and he runs Waves Audio Products, and he is really good friends with Tao Hertzberg, who's my A&R guy now at Geffen Records. So that's how I got signed to Ron Fair, because he took my MP3s to Ron Fair. I auditioned for Ron, and Ron signed me to Geffen. So yeah, just from playing that show and coming over and just playing as much as I could. So everything sort of just it's kind of weird actually. Really,
there's connections in more than one place.
Yeah, just crazy, and and I'm so grateful to be able to do what I do. You know, be able to play music every day. It's a dream come true. You know, and you just got to believe in yourself and not take on board, you know, destructive criticism, but constructive. You know, and that's so important because sometimes, well, being a female guitar player, there's not too many around. And I think because it's kind of a guy's thing, and they sort of see me and think, "What are you gonna do?" You know, and that's usually she's just a chick. That's why she's, you know, is where she's at. But you know, it's a lot of hard work, and you gotta love it, and you gotta have a passion for it, and it's not an overnight thing. You know, you gotta work at it. And I used to practice 5 to 6 hours a day. You know, and then play out in a cover band from when I was 15 to about 20. So, you know, just playing top 40 stuff 3 nights a week and really just, you know, focusing in on playing as much as you can. I think it's so important, and writing.